Hello. This is Elizabeth. Welcome to Auntie Lizzie's Corner. I am so excited to be with you again today. Last time we did talk about whether we should buy a house or just stay with our renting apartment. I did get some few phone calls asking some few questions. Today, I'm just going to address some of those questions and see how we can save money in doing all this. Let's dive into the questions. Some of the questions that I did get was, what are some of the questions we have to ask when going to buy a home? Whether we have an agent or we don't have. And one of the questions to ask whether you have an agent or not, it's advisable for you to have one. But if it's a newly built home, you don't need an agent. You should have an agent with the builders that can help you. You don't have to pay any 3% to an agent for helping you buy a home. Don't forget that there is usually 6% charge and it's usually shared among the buyer. 3% the buyer will pay, the seller will pay 3%. Sometimes the seller is able to pay all 6%. It all depends. So make sure you save money as much as you can. If you are going to buy a newly built home, they will make sure all the paperwork is done right. If you are going to buy a house from just like sell by owner, some owners that want to sell by themselves, I will advise for you to have an agent so you can be sure the paperwork is done right. That is a lot of money. You want to make sure things are done correctly because you don't want to owe so much money. At the end of the day, you realize that the owner did not do the paperwork well. Everything is still in the owner's name and you are paying. No, you don't want that. Now, what are some of the questions that we have to ask when buying the house? When you want to buy a house, it is always advisable to look at the neighbor. Like I mentioned in the previous videos, drive there few times, different times of the day, and check. This time when you get opportunity to go inside the home, face a house that is not newly built, one of the questions you should ask, even your agent, is why are they selling this house? This is a beautiful home. Even if the owner themselves are selling it, ask why. Maybe there is something else somewhere that they are not telling you, right? This will open up a conversation. Oh yeah, we got a job somewhere else. Then you know that is why they are moving. Oh no, we just want to sell this house. We've been living here for just 2 years. It's questionable. Why do they just want to sell? Then you have to do more investigation, right? Is there a problem with the house? Average wise, people stay in their homes for 7 years. Your mortgage might be 30 years, but averagely people move around 7 years of their time in a home. And that doesn't mean they have a problem with the home. Sometimes they do. Sometimes things happen. Family changes, size is more, new babies coming up, so you needed a bigger place, or your job, so many other reasons. So just make sure you find out why. That will help. Another thing I want you to also do is to be bold and talk to the neighbors. Some neighbors can be very nosy and they will tell you all about it. You can just knock at the door and just say, you know, I'm planning of buying this house and you are going to be my neighbor. I just want to know, do you like staying in this neighborhood? I've had neighbor asked me this when they were about to move close to me, and I love my neighborhood. So I told her what I love about it, and I told her what I didn't like about it. You can't have everything perfect, right? So the neighbor will be able to tell you, oh yeah, I like this neighborhood, but then you are taking notes of the but. Are you able to stay as long as at least 7 years where you are buying? So that is how you look at it. And then you are also going to look at the fact that what are the things in the neighborhood? Are there a lot of cars around? How are they looking like? Do you have all junk cars around? That should tell you something. Even if the car is old cars, are they well maintained or are they looking so bad? Then it tells you what kind of neighborhood you are going to live in. Is everyone parking anywhere on the street? Will you get access to your home? Those are some of the things you should look at. It is very, very important. Now, when you are in the house, there is one thing that I also want you to look at. Look around you, especially your backyard. Do you have the house staying slight ways? One of the things I enjoy in my house is the fact that the backyard slides down the hill. It is beautiful, but guess what? There is a problem. When it rains heavily, the water stays down the hill, and I wonder if it's affecting the foundation of the home. I don't know. Of course, I'm not a builder. I'm not an agent. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an accountant either. These are all my opinions. And I see anytime it rains, you see it takes some time for the water to leave. And the question is, where does the water go? Is the water going into your foundation? You have to find out. One of the things you also have to consider is look at the tree of the house. Do you have an older tree in the house that is like halfway towards the building of the home? Then that is a problem too. If the tree is too close, where is the root going to? Okay, so when you go to the house, those are some of the things you look at. One of the questions you also have to ask the agent is the fact that how old the roof is. How old are the windows? These are very expensive things to change here in the United States of America. It's thousands of dollars. I know one time I was interested in buying a home and I look at the window and it's scary. It needs to be changed and I can't afford it. So I had to let go. When you go into the house, do you feel like there is air coming in and out of the house? If there is a problem. What about the roof? When before you enter the house with your agent, you are looking up. How is it looking like? What type of roof do they have? Is there solar panel on the roof? You know what? If there is a solar panel, don't forget that the warranty on the roof is gone. A lot of people don't know this. Most homes have solar panels on their roof and you have to find out. Don't waste money by buying a beautiful house with little issues. Those little issues add up. These are all things that will put money in your pocket and save you money. And this is what this channel is all about. Encouraging you to go forward and take an action and save some money in your pocket. Put some money in your pocket and let's make life more better and beautiful to be able to help others. Now let's continue with what we have to look out for. Kind of start smelling a lot. Let your nose start working. How is the house smelling? Is there a particular odor that you can't figure out? Sometimes it's the mold. Is there water problem? What are the consequences of that problem? Do you smell like the wood is being rotten? You have to pay attention to those things. Okay, even when you go open the water faucet, open the kitchen sink, under the kitchen sink, look there, see is there any water coming out when you open it. Those are the little things that people don't pay attention to. Yes, of course, inspectors will come and inspect when you're interested in the house and all that, but they are human. You are your best instinct person. Follow your instinct. You are the best person to tell what you want and follow your gut. Ask God to give you a divine direction as to where to live and where to be. And if that tree is leaning towards your house, it is very, very expensive to uproot a tree. I can't believe it. I did a research and it can take even 1,200 plus to cut the tree before even uprooting the roots. And the question is that root growing under the foundation already? What are the risks of people taking it out? You have to be very careful of this. What about the sunshade? We all know that in the winter, the place looks dark and, we are cold and all that. In the summer, we want to enjoy the sun, right? You want to feel like you are in Africa, a lovely country, Feel like you are in the tropical region. But you have all this big tree covering your window and you can't even enjoy the sunlight. And now you have to pay thousands of dollars to trim it every year. Think about it. Even if the tree is small, the next 7 years, you stay in that house, will it be like that? Those are some of the little things. Is the backyard already landscape. If you are like me, I don't like uprooting the weeds. Are you going to get your backyard done, or are you going to pay someone to do it? That is another extra cost. It is not just that smooth to just own a house. Yes, you have your mortgage to pay every month. Your property tax is secure. Your homeowners association is paid. You have your utility bills, water, electric, gas, your internet, all those little things. You have that, but that is not it all. If you are in an apartment, some of the apartments even give you free Wi-Fi. Take a decision that is best for you. I can go on and on about things to look out for, but the best thing is for God to direct you to the right location and to be at the right place at the right time. Don't make some mistakes that will cost you a lot of money. May you be directed as you take the decision in owning your house and keeping money in your pocket. Join us again in our next video. Let's still dive into some of the questions people are concerned about. Let's see how we can make money together. Thank you again for joining. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. Let me know if you like these videos. Thank you and be blessed.